I had a very simple plan this wipe. It was to build version 1 of my new base design, but like all my plans, they never actually go to plan. This wipe is full of lies, deceit, manipulation and all sorts of other shenanigans on my part that backfires quite spectacularly. I'll show you a bit of what I mean.
It's okay, we'll all soon be gone. Hey, what's the matter with the bright red lights? Hey, in the moment when the world went blind, but everything's alright. We don't give a damn this time.
I wanted to test the viability of my new base design this wipe, and for that to happen, I was going to need a lot of enemies. I decided to try and put my starter south of the bandit camp along a dirt road so I could make use of quick respawn times on barrels and easy access to a recycler. I headed inland and figured out exactly where I was going to put this starter. We're back. It's another wipe. I'm actually keen for this one. I've been working on this base a bit behind the scenes. It's a very butchered version of the Death Blossom with my own additions, but for now, we need to make some enemies, and to do that, I'm going to put my starter right on the edge of the build priv of the bandit camp. We're going to kill anyone doing what I'm doing, and pretty much all the gambling addicts, so it should be pretty interesting. We're going to keep things simple. I don't expect this base to last very long, so I'm just going to make it a 1x1, and it's just a pure rat shack. Just going to get some stone, and I'll hit a few barrels, and then we'll go have a look at who the neighbours might be. Done a couple runs of this already. I don't know how much I'll put in. It's just barrel hitting simulator, but it's actually ridiculous how quick that stuff respawns. Nice, good start. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I've been here like not even 10 minutes. Like, this was the play to make. There's going to be a lot of people doing what I'm doing, and this little stretch of road is going to be a war zone. All the gambling guys will be coming out here as well to hit barrels. It should be interesting. Almost on cue. Not bad. I'm going back for some more. Before we get too far into this wipe, I'm just going to quickly apologise in advance for some of my behaviour this wipe. I'm not going to be too toxic, but I do need to make enemies, and I want to build around this area, so I am forcibly going to have to push people out. It is what it is. I don't feel too good about it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, Jesus, this is what I'm talking about. That's just from like a few barrels. This place is like Scrap City. I have spent about 10 minutes hitting barrels. I don't know how much of it I'll put in the video, but this is the scrap you get. I've been in like 15 minutes max, I'm not even kidding. I had been here not that long at all, and I was already starting to get loaded on scrap. My plan was to hang around this area for a while longer yet, to try and see how far down the tier 2 tech tree I could get, just grubbing people on this dirt road. As mentioned though, I did have to try and forcibly push people out of this area, as I did want to put my main base around here somewhere. I continued to be a grub, continued to be a rat, and continued to make some enemies. Let's see who can break who first. Oldest trick in the book. I would say it's kind of an even playing field at the moment. There's two of them, one of me. They are trying to do the same thing I am though, but I'm going to try push them out of the area, because this is where main base is going, and that will be a big problem later on if I don't get rid of them. Another one. Oh my god! I think I know who's gonna break who first. Oh, gonna have to mute that. There was a few gamer words in there. Don't really feel that bad anymore. It's on. The Rust Sun, the destroyer of FPS. Oh, more gamer words. This is gonna be a fun video to edit.
You're so bad. 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 You're so.
I love Rust. Oh, it's him! Is he trying to move base? Oh, they did! That's funny. I'm taking this over. This is my base now. Mission accomplished. I'll be honest, I did start to feel a bit bad for these guys early on, but the second they started using the gamer words, all remorse went out the window. The problem as well was they'd started to door camp me with Eokas, and I had to leave a lot of footage out because there was just too many words I'd have to mute. Now that these guys were out of the way, and I had their base, I had to turn my attention to my base. The problem was though, you're about to meet a clan that has a very strong presence in this area. Well, I'm going to quickly go make claim to some territory. I don't know if it'll become main base, but I'll put a starter there as if it will. I do want to build over the hill, but there's already a base there. But it is wipe day on my server, and wipe day bases that are bigger than 2x1s don't really last that long. Just going to make it the starter footprint for now. I might not even live out of this, I might just live in the 2x1. I like to wait maybe a day or two before I fully erect main base because they're massive targets on wipe day. Nice. It's going to probably stay like this for now. I think I might do a little bit of recycling. What's going on here? They're like right on top of my base. It can't be me. My base is nothing. Oh, they might be going for the dude over the hill. Yes, if they raid him, I can actually get that build spot. I think they are. Yes! Yes! Raid him! I'm getting that spot. Alright, yes, this is good. They have raided it. When it decays, I'm going to sneak in there and get build priv and just seal it. And I'm going to take that spot for my main base. I was soon beginning to realise how much of an absolute hornet's nest I'd built in. All the kids were getting home from school, there was rats, there was clans, it was just complete bedlam. You don't see it yet, but I'd estimate at least 1,000 rockets gets dropped in this 4x4 grid area around me. It's literally the most raiding I've seen on my server, probably ever. All the grubs had moved in, and this area had turned into complete and utter chaos. While I was waiting for my base to decay, I decided to blend in and get up to all sorts of shenanigans and grab what I could from all of this raiding stuff. I also pounced on an opportunity to be a complete and utter manipulative rat to get rid of the grubs in my area, so I could actually build my main base.
You're the biggest fucking flop ever. Up.
This one. What about this one? Oh, yep, I'm stuck. Yeah, we might have to pump him. We'll have to pump him.
It had been quite some time since I'd built in an area this active. That clan that I was speaking to, I managed to convince them that the Marlboro red guy who'd been trying to door camp me with the shotgun stole 2 scrap helis, crashed them into each other while another raid was going on, and he got 18 rockets off of them. They actually believed me and raided his base, thinking that they would get rockets. There's more than one way to raid a base. I set a 1x1 stash base up at launch as well, so I could evenly spread my loot across 4 bases, given how active this area was. Now that I'd pushed a lot of people out and convinced the clan to raid a lot of people out, it was time to set up main base. I ran over to the base that was decaying, stashed all my build materials, and got set about on building my main base. It was going to need to be big because a lot of my antics start to backfire on me. So, just a little info on this base. It is a heavily modified version of the Death Blossom. If you don't know what that is, it's a YouTube base. I've been building it a bit lately. I actually really like it. I think it's probably the best solo base on YouTube that's easy to build and affordable. This one's a bit bigger with separated shooting floors. The roof's completely different as well. This is version 1. I guarantee you there's going to be some flaws in it that I'll find out hopefully this wipe. I'll fix them, do a few more versions, and then if I go away for a month or something where I can't do a video, I'll release a base build of that. But we need to iterate on it and get it good for now. The start is simple, it's just what you see on the screen. I personally don't think you really have much of a chance defending like a big online raid 10 plus people if you don't have inner peaks. They're pretty much vital. Just a little tip for the lesser experienced people, that door frame will connect the core to the outer peak and it'll use the core's upkeep in the event something gets broken or raided. I don't particularly want to make you guys sit through a 5-hour long build video that could change. For now though, I had some people to deal with because some rats had moved in right next door to me and were making my life difficult. But before I could deal with them, I heard one of the biggest raids I've ever seen in this server's history. I'm talking 400 plus 3-clan merge raid against a massive Chinese Zerg. My headphones did just not stop sounding like rockets. I went over, like the rest of the server, to go see what was going on. But while I was there, I came up with an impromptu plan that ends up backfiring massively and introduces you to the villains of this video. Well, that could be me, but you get the point. Dude, there's like 3 raid bases. There's a raid base on either side of that Chinese Zerg's compound. Like, I cannot stop hearing rockets and I have pretty much no FPS. Oh my god, have a listen to it. It's just like continuous AK spray. There's got to be a way that I can grab something out of this. Honestly, we're probably going to have to wait till night. I reckon they have a guy like on vacuum duty who's just cleaning up bodies. pick it up, it's like glitched in the wall. And they have this thing on absolute lockdown, which is surprising for these clans. There's like no loot here whatsoever. Oh, they finally got me. Let's try another tactic.
Sorry, brother.
I'm out.
What? Look how many of them there are. There's got to be at least like 30 people here.
He's got him all good.
It occurred to me in this moment that I was surrounded 360 degrees by these clans, and the second my base got any big at all, they'd probably come and raid me. I really needed to buy myself time so that I could actually get a base up that was somewhat defensible. I needed a way to pit them against each other, and this very soundbite right here
Sorry, brother.
told me everything I needed to know. They weren't communicating too well, and I could tell there was some frustration with team killing. I logged out, tagged up as one of the clan members, and just ran around the raid talking absolute crap, pitting them against each other. I would hope that this would keep them occupied amongst themselves instead of looking at me.
Bro. These. Oi, Chase, these. They're just shooting our own. They're so rude.
Thank you, me.
RZ, pick me up.
Oh, is that Henry? Is that Henry? Oh, is that Henry?
Even doing this voiceover, I laugh at the situation. I can be an absolute menace when I need to be because my survival is paramount, because my videos are paramount. I've been on this server and these servers for a long time, and it was just a matter of hours, if not a day, before they came knocking on my door. I ran around that raid, spreading all sorts of misinformation, had to cut a lot out because there's a lot of swearing, but you get the point. The thing is though, this ends up backfiring on me quite spectacularly, to the point it's actually some of the most insane footage I've gotten to date in all of my video making. But for now, I had to turn my attention back to the first set of little annoying rats and deal with them. These guys are becoming a real problem. Time to fight fire with fire. I mean, like, look how close they've built to me. You're just asking for trouble at this point. Someone's like tried to go deep on them. I'm gonna go make this as costly as possible for them. It's like all open. Bro, how many guns are in this airlock? Half of them are probably mine. Oh, this is very satisfying. Look at that, like, that's all my loot and then theirs. I'm going to kick them while they're down and try and bully them a bit more so that they leave. They're leaving. There's a wall there. They put one down and flown off in their heli. I don't think they'll be back. This place has been hell for them. Now, I thought these guys might be going on some sort of heli adventure, but I actually never seen them again. They'd moved all their loot with that heli flight after spending a few hours in Rat City. I'd successfully pushed another group of players out, and I could live in peace again. I ran around, did some farming, and finished off most of my main base, but while I was doing this, I was being weirdly watched by a scrap heli. It would just fly over and hover around and keep an eye on what I was doing. I hadn't also spawned at my launch base in quite some time, and I actually needed to check if I had upkeep. But when I spawned in, I was blessed by the rust gods themselves. Oh, what do we have here? What? That's actually massive. I need those BPs. Is that another decaying base? Oh, what? What is going on? Oh, I've just beat him to it. Come on. I don't actually care if he knows I live here. I don't even use this base much anymore. I'll just move the loot later. One of these walls was really low, so I'm going to smash through it with tools because I have things wrong with me. Oh yeah, not bad.
Go on, you slugger.
What? I can use that scrap to research the AK. It's all coming together. The rust gods have blessed. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm usually on the receiving end of bad luck, but finally the rust gods have given me a nice stroke of luck. I was getting worried about that scrap heli though. I spent some time fortifying my base, and I pretty much had everything I needed in the tech tree except boom, because that dirt road really delivered. I turned my base into metal, put some turrets down, researched the AK and metal face mask, and made a few kits that I could defend my base with in the event someone tried to raid me. I was coming back from pretty much one of my final farm runs, and I got jumped by more people than I could frickin' count. literally just had one of the fights of my life over a bush. I'll be honest, I don't know how I got out of that situation, let alone alive, and then with other people's loot as well. It was absolute chaos after the first set of shots went off around that bush. I managed to just fluke killing them on their respawn, and it all just come together, and somehow the Rust gods have liked me today. But I'd also heard that Rust had added drones to the game this wipe. I had a little idea I wanted to try and experiment with, but little did I know that I'd witness my own downfall with a frickin' drone. Frickin' Oh my god, mission accomplished. That's the most annoying sound I've ever heard in my life. Oh no, it actually works. That sound is so annoying. I can hear it through the drone. I hope other people can hear it as well. What? I want you all to pay attention to this graph. It has some very important life lessons in it. I was not prepared for massive online raids. I could probably handle a small one, but what happens next is, well, you're about to find out. I haven't actually seen anything yet. Like, I've had the drone up in the air as well. Like, maybe I'm getting siege raided? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just someone griefing. Well, that's 24 MLRS. If anyone rolls up like deep, I'm talking 10 plus, this is going to be a struggle. I've only just realised that someone's just put a base there again. I don't know if they're counters or what, but AKs? Okay, it's real. Haven't seen or heard a rocket yet. God, there's a lot of them. I guess there's 2 more at the MLRS as well that will come. I gotta deal with these little rat neighbours as well, like... I gotta deal with my Samsite raiding me as well. Oh, here we go. That's probably the rockets. I wanted to get raided this wipe, but oh my god, I did not expect that. I had 36 MLRS rockets dropped on me, and I don't know how many actual rockets. These guys were experienced raiders as well. They MLRS'd my compound walls away, so I couldn't actually fight them from my compound. They opened one hell of a hole in the side of my base, so I couldn't use my inner peaks. They carpet bombed my entire roof with instant rockets, so I couldn't fight from my roof. My back was already against the wall being a solo, and given how many of them there were, add that to the equation and I was at a serious disadvantage. The problem was, I was really disappointed in myself because I was one correct jump away from sealing the base. When you're pummeled that hard as a solo from a sizable opponent, you do make mistakes, and I made a few of them, I'll own up to that, but I'm happy with the fight that I'd put up. The funny thing was, it was RZ Chase to finish me off, the guy I was impersonating during the massive merge raid. I can't prove for sure that this was why they raided me, but I did bump into the guy a week later on a completely different server playing with a mate. They knew it was me and acknowledged the havoc that I'd caused. For now though, this little escapade was over, or so I thought. There is still more to this story yet to come. But for now, I had to go check if my base was even recoverable. There is like nothing left. I'm not going to say I lost nothing. They haven't got my stash bases yet, which is good. I've still got some AK kits and some stuff to rebuild with, but they did get my vending machines and there was a fair bit in them. If I can recover this base, it's going to be a serious patch job, but I don't know how. I'm building blocks, like, I don't know what, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Where is this tool cupboard? Like, I have a flaw in my base design. No, there it is. What, like how? Gonna have to go back to the base building fundamentals, I think. What are the odds? I've just realised that one of those door frames is wood, twig. And I actually have a C4 and like 3 satchels from an airdrop, so I think I can actually blow this tool cupboard out. And this is why I have stash bases, to raid back things like this and to rebuild with. I need to make most of them. I'd advise also that you research pixel gaps. Alright, nice. I got my priv back, I could just break my externals and put my main TC back down. Nice. I don't know how I'm going to fix this core up, there's some quarter walls, it's all butchered, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, this will have to do, I think. I'll just, I'll put rugs to cover the holes up and I can just throw grenades out of them if I get raided again. Thankfully, I'd managed to save my base. I spent the next 10 hours or so getting it back up to scratch and getting farm back so I could get back on my feet. I had comps, 3 gear sets and a few other bits and pieces in 2 of my stash bases. I moved them over to my main base so I could defend another raid, and I also crafted a couple auto turrets so I could start using my furnaces again. There's some unexplained gear acquisition going forwards, but for the sake of this video not being 2 hours, I had to skip over a lot of it. Essentially I geared up, run around PvPing, farming, took my balloon to rig, and just did a bunch of other non-eventful activities so that I could get my base back up to scratch. I had enough now where I could at least defend my base, but I was still unequipped to be able to defend a massive online raid. I didn't put much significance in it at the time, but I was killed by a guy called Demo out the front of my base when I was still tagged up as RZ Chase. I found out later on that that guy was a part of the Chinese Zerg that RZ and the other clans tried to merge raid. This Zerg had rebuilt and they were looking for revenge. That guy over there, he was a solo. I only ran across him a couple times. He was pretty chill. He's not online at the moment, but he's being raided. Damn, I thought they might have been moving loot, but I guess not. I've been on for more time than I care to admit. I have to go do human things like shopping and stuff, so I'm going to be gone for about an hour. I'll be back and we'll continue the shenanigans. Wait, what? What's going on? Oh my god, there's a lot of them. That raid was over before it had even started. I got home halfway through it, they already had control of my shooting floor. I hadn't even recovered from the last one. I had no supply stash where I could try and seal. I was completely underprepared for that and stood no chance whatsoever. I actually Hail Married my camper van into the middle of the raid, and that ended faster than it started as well. Not to mention, these guys had more people than the last clan that raided me. I got a glimpse of their numbers as they left the raid. One thing you'll notice as well is the last guy to kill me was that Chinese Zerg member who killed me at the front of my base when I was still tagged up as RC Chase. I don't speak Chinese, but it's a bit too much of a coincidence for them to roll out 15 deep and pummel the absolute hell out of my base. I didn't have enough in the tank for a rebuild. I used my stash resources to make my base somewhat sealed, but I still had one piece of unfinished business left to deal with. During all the stuff that had been happening over the last few days, I was continually being roof camped and griefed by my neighbours on the ice lake. I had one kit left in my stash base, and I was going to use it to bend these guys to my will. I'd fixed up my camper van and parked it on the outside of my base, but these guys came over and just started griefing it. They were making my life difficult. Enough was enough, and this was the final, unfinished little piece of this wipe that I had to deal with. Oh my god, look at them. I'm going to grief these guys so hard that they'll be doing my bidding by the end of the day. My sound's all messed up, but I've got one kit left and like 5 or 6 HP rockets that I managed to salvage from a single box that I had in the side hut. If I can't have it, you can't have it. I'm totally unaffected by this griefing. I was hoping I wouldn't have to show it, but that's one of my stash bases. I don't plan to come down from here until I either got all their loot or they're begging me to stop. I don't actually know how much is going in the video considering there's just too much content already, but these guys for like 2 days have made my life hell. I went there. I'm gonna rocket their horse. I'm not much of a roof camper, to be honest. I don't normally do this, but I kind of see why it's so vengefully satisfying. One at a time. I don't think they realise that this was my base. It's a huge base that just destroys my FPS on the side of that ice lake. It's like the Bermuda Triangle of roof camping. There's another base over there just taking shots at me. Ended up being quite worthwhile. All of that over a freaking camper van.
You're a beast and all with that 09, but like, come on, dude. I haven't. Like, I've got my teammates to stop roof camping you and all this shit, and you're doing it back to us. Yeah, yeah, but since I've got on, they've stopped there.
It only took me a few hours to do to them what they did to me over 2 days. I also HV rocketed their horse, which was the cherry on top. I very rarely roof camp like that, but if you force my hand, I'll do it back to you 10 times as hard to get you to stop. These guys were doing my bidding now. They were going out on roams and dropping me off guns to keep me happy. Then all of a sudden, they managed to get themselves raided. I went over to counter to keep my new subservient mules on the job. I haven't had that happen to me before. My PC just blue screened to death in the middle of that frickin' raid. I'm gonna go back and try raid the thing back. It was in this moment that I really questioned what the actual hell I was doing. These guys had been roof camping me for days. What's a couple guns? I just gave up and let the raiders have the base because it was going to suit me better off in the end. I'd lost my C4, the 2 that I had trying to counter this thing. I did, however, though, have a whole lot of rockets. I didn't particularly want to waste them on this. I've been passively acquiring them throughout the wipe days, one here, one there, as I got the sulfur, and I'd actually built up quite an arsenal. My plan was to try and raid someone for content, but there was no content to be had, there was no storylines to finish, it was all done. I was running around outside the edge of my base, and I got bolted in the head by a new neighbour. The little thing in my head just snapped, and that's exactly who I was going to use my rockets on, as a way to go out with a bang. I was hoping I'd have some sort of revenge raid thing going on, but this is the last day of the wipe for me. They're probably going to offline me tonight anyway, so I don't know if they're online, it's been a while, I had to get all my rockets together. I'm just going to pummel it and call it a day.
I remember waiting on the sunrise, and I'll be right here waiting till you come back around, come back around, come back around. All I wanted was you. Let's do whatever it takes. Me and you, we can lose. I'll take you away from here, from the city that never loved you, from the town I always hated. Me and you, we can live. Let's go. I would always walk around and find out. You were always saying I would crash down someday. I would have to pass out on my friend's couch. We were up all night, so we slept all day. I remember waiting on sunrise, and I'll be right here waiting till you come back around, come back around, come back around. All I wanted was you. Let's do whatever it takes. Me and you, we can lose. I'll take you away from here, from the city that never loved you.
I hope that this wipe sets a trend for all the wipes to come. It was seriously some insane footage, and if you've made it this far, I just want to genuinely say thank you. This Rust stuff is starting to feel more like a reality than it did a year ago. We had some big progress on the channel hitting 5k subs, and hopefully there's many more this year. I'm going to continue to try and improve on each video and bring you the best content I can possibly get. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed.